it's the mindset shifts that we have to make for ourselves. Because again, you can't put the expectation on other people to be that for you.
You definitely can't.
Because it doesn't work like that. Like, and if you're somebody that only gets the satisfaction out of somebody else telling it to you, like, yes, people need that.
Of course.
And I get that.
You need like the positive reinforcement or whatever, or the affirmations.
You at the end of the day have to tell yourself in your internal monologue that this thing is the thing that makes me happy, or this is the thing that brings me that joy. But because I know that you are, I don't know if I should say further along in your faith journey than I am, but I know that you are more like open about like your prayer and all of that stuff. But how does that help you recognize the little things that do bring you that joy?
Well, I've been working for a while on like restructuring my routines, and things like that, really for the sole purpose of finding more joy in my life. And one of those parts of my routine is the morning, and really trying to find more time with God. For me, starting my day like that allows me to be more open for more blessings to come. And, it's one of those things I've heard for a very long time, like starting your day with prayer, pray through anything. There's a Bible verse, and I had it written down, and I'm not even going to try to quote it because I don't have it, but it's something along the lines of like, do not be anxious in anything, but in everything, something. So it's basically like through integrating more prayer into my life, when I'm feeling anxious, I'm learning to remove the anxiety by praying through it, and not just like praying in the morning, like thank you for my morning, and praying before I sit down to eat. Like our kids sometimes say the exact same prayer at every meal, which is how I grew up, and I'm learning to integrate in my own types of prayers, and they're never perfect, but it interrupts the negative thoughts that I'm feeling or thinking, or the anxieties or whatever. And by doing that, or by interrupting those thoughts through prayer, I've just found so much more fulfillment and joy in certain tasks. And I think it's hard. Prayer is very difficult to not even just to talk about, but to go about, especially because, if you are a churchgoer, we hear these people praying so beautifully all the time, on stage or in small groups that we attend, or, and you think like that's what I need to sound like when I pray, but
I curse in my prayers. So for everybody out there that's listening,
but you don't need to be anyone other than yourself. And that's kind of where the joy for me comes in, is because I get to just be myself in my prayers, and it brings me more joy.
Yeah.
Because I'm letting go of whatever I'm anxious about, and I'm bringing in, that faith and that encouragement in my own self through my prayers and my relationship with God, and it brings more joy. It really just does.
Yeah.
I can't explain it. Yeah. It's one of those things,
Yeah.
You got to try it.
Yeah, I've always felt like, if you pray about something, if you start to like get really emotional about it, then that's like you're actually like,
you're doing the right thing.
Well, it's like you're really with him.
Yeah.
If it's just like thank you for the food and whatever, and like it's kind of like you just did it because it was the motion.
Like for me, where prayer like actually brings some joy to me, and this kind of might sound weird, but at nighttime, like going to bed, it's actually really difficult for me to like shut off my brain. And I think a lot of moms can identify with this, but I've noticed that if I start praying, like just, I don't know, kind of like word vomit prayers, like, oh my gosh, this and this. And it's like I'm having a conversation with him. It like silences all of those thoughts. And like I just feel at peace. And sometimes when you feel at peace, it's just, it's not happiness. Yeah. It's joy. Like you're not smiling, but you feel contentment and you feel fulfilled. And it's really helped me.
My best prayer, or my only pray time is in the shower. That's where I really have
praying
my like.
in the shower.
That's where I really have my like connection. I don't know why. Like, I think it stems from like.
It's
like
your.
like I told you a long time ago. Like
your quiet
I was like,
time.
I was like. I mean, we had this conversation one time. I was like, you don't talk to yourself like out loud,
and
right?
I'm like, no.
And I think that's like. Exact. Like I've been praying my entire life.
You didn't know it was prayer,
but I didn't know, and I think that's kind of cool.
That is really cool, especially because people that don't know you personally, like you were right when you said our faith journeys are different, but it's kind of crazy how they've intertwined to become, you know, I mean, I think it's a big aspect of the joy that we have in our life, especially now that we pursue that more and more.